Tudino was our otherwise expected track actual for earlier this year. We'll see if Tudino is on this year. We're going to have to go to the
Spectator drag is underway. Tudino gets the jump on the outside and leads it off of two. Hartley.
Yeah, look over here. You see the sun shatters.
Big old white Chevy can't hang on to the Mustang as Tudino rolls off and puts the bow tie out of its misery. And Anthony Tudino picks up round number one.
I'm Anthony Tudino, and I started A&D Professional Pest Elimination in 1990.
The first time he took me out on a real date, he lost his brakes.
I lost my brakes on a college hill, which is huge, and I remember panicking. I had to use an emergency brake, and I don't know what happened. I forgot what happened, but my car was built for street racing, so I took everything out of it to make it go fast. Like, remember, it had no vent in the door.
It was just the beginning of Murphy's Law for us. Everything was a challenge, I think, from the first moment that we met.
I had told her I always wanted to own my own business. If I didn't do it then, I wasn't going to do it. I was 24 years old. I had a lot of ambition. I always went after commercial work, but I had to take jobs in these neighborhoods that no one else wanted because I just started out. And then we would be out all hours of the night selling hot dogs.
And I was working at a newspaper, trying to do what we could to make ends meet, put a little money to the side to, invest in equipment that he needed to get things off the ground. Thank God he's ambitious.
When we first moved out of our house to our first building, we put the sign up, and it was right on the highway to where we are now.
Remember, we kept driving by.
I must have drove by 100 times like on both sides of the highway. I went across the highway. I'm like, wow, look at how bright that is. I'm like, wow, that's my business. And then
I'd say, drive by it again and act like you just saw it for the first time. We used to laugh about it.
Yeah, we used to take pictures of it, like from across the street, from on the highway, drive by. That was a big step moving from our basement, moving to a commercial building. And it started to really grow at that point. I wanted to be a quality company. There was a car years ago, which you might not remember, this called the Yugo. You remember that car?
A piece of shit.
Okay, that's the first thing you said, it was a piece of shit. You didn't say that it was $3,800 brand new. That's what it cost, and that's what everybody says. You ask about a Yugo, they say that car was a piece of shit. And when we have meetings, and I would tell the guys, listen, you pick what you want to be in this world, okay? Because I don't want to be a Yugo. Because the first thing you're going to say if you don't do a good job, they're going to forget that you were cheap. They're going to remember that you did a terrible job. I say, if you do a great job, they're not going to say, oh, that was really expensive. They're going to say, hey, he got rid of my bed bugs. And at that point, they don't care what it cost. And that's really how I ran it. And I really didn't care how big I was. All I know is that we were getting premiums for jobs, and our customers never left us. I started on the trunk of a Datsun 210. It was my baby for 31 years. It's like watching a kid grow up. That's how I felt about it, and I didn't want to see anything happen to it. And to give it up, it's a big decision to make. It really is a massive decision. When I read about Paul and Franco, and I went with them, they made my life a lot easier. They had me interview with 3 or 4 large companies, and I had to do it in my truck because I couldn't do it from my office because I didn't want anybody to know. Right after that, I got really sick with COVID, and I was in the ICU when the bids started coming in. And I told him, I said, I'm really sick, Franco. I'm in the ICU. He goes, oh my God. I said, I'm pretty sick. And he said, don't worry about nothing. I will take care of everything. He goes, you just get better. I'm not, no. That's
said,
not
you're not going to be that guy.
Yeah, she's going to say, you're not going to be that guy. You're not going to, like, I worked this whole life and then dies, And I'm like, from a virus, forget it. I said, it's not going to happen. My primary care doctor told me, he goes, if it wasn't for you having an attitude, you probably wouldn't have made it. He goes, but your mind has a lot to do with how your body's going to react. It was the same thing with this business. I had it in my head I was going to succeed no matter what.
They told me he had one of the most severe
Yeah.
cases of COVID
Well,
in the hospital, and he was a miracle.
and she kept on saying to me, just think about the light at the end of the tunnel. You can do this. You've been through worse. You can do this. And I didn't think I was that sick. I still don't think I was that sick. I don't know. Maybe I was, but I just needed a little bit of help. And once they gave me the help, you know, I got better.
Denise, what was the first thing he did when he got out?
Made me take the.
Yeah, he
I
made me take him to pick up his race car.
I called up the shop and said, leave my car outside, leave the keys in it. I'll be there tonight. And they knew I was sick, and they're like, are you sure? I said, I'm picking up my car tonight. And I drove it home on the street. But it made me feel fantastic. It woke me right up. I felt great after.
Over the course of this whole process, we kept hearing the same songs.
Yeah.
We would hear Don't Back Down
Yeah, by Tom Petty.
And what happened on the day of the closing in our truck when it was all over?
My favorite song came
Of
on.
all time came on.
Sympathy for the Devil came on. They said, okay, it's all done. I said, we're all set. We close it. Yep. 12 o'clock tonight. It's not yours anymore. Franco he's very sharp, and he knows this industry, and all I can say is they're fantastic.
We're great at building up businesses. We're not great at selling them.
Yeah, that's
not our
That's
job.
what it came
the
down
pest
to.
control business.
That wasn't my forte. That's Franco and Paul's, and they're very good at it. But, you know, it worked out in the end.
Well, I'm glad that we didn't back down.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I won't back down.
I'm looking for that cup car. Is that
I
him?
won't back down.
Nope, the GT3
You
cup car.
stand
What's
me up
on?
at the
Keep the
gates
black and white.
of
The black and white one.
I won't back down.